Welcome to Histology Hub. In 1937, Amelia Earhart vanished without a trace during her flight around the world. Was it an accident or something more mysterious? Today we unravel the enigma of her disappearance. Amelia Earhart was more than just a pilot. She was, honestly, a star. She was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Her smile was famous, and her courage was legendary. People everywhere looked up to her, you know? They saw her as a symbol of what was possible. She broke records and broke barriers for women. Amelia showed the world that a woman could be brave, adventurous, and independent. She wasn't just flying planes, she was flying in the face of old ideas. Her spirit captured the hearts of millions, making her one of the most celebrated people of her time. In 1937, Amelia decided to chase her biggest dream yet. She wanted to fly all the way around the world. This was not just any flight, it would be the longest one ever attempted, following a challenging route close to the equator. She would have to cross vast oceans and unfamiliar lands. Her plane, a modern Lockheed Electra 10E, was nicknamed the Flying Laboratory. It was filled with extra fuel tanks and the latest navigation equipment. This journey was her ultimate challenge, a final great adventure to cap her incredible career in aviation. Her plan was bold and incredibly dangerous. The journey would cover about 29,000 miles. A skilled navigator named Fred Noonan would join her. He had experience flying across the Pacific Ocean for Pan American Airways. Together, they made a strong team. They started their flight from Miami, Florida, and headed east. For over a month, they successfully flew across South America, Africa, India, and Southeast Asia. The world watched, reading newspaper updates about every stop they made. Each successful landing was a victory, bringing them closer to their goal. The trip was a great success for thousands of miles. Amelia and Fred made stops in many countries. They faced bad weather and mechanical issues, but they always managed to continue. They sent letters and telegrams home, sharing stories from their incredible journey. People followed their path on maps, cheering them on from afar. They had already completed more than 2/3 of their epic flight. The hardest part was still ahead, the vast, empty expanse of the Pacific Ocean. Their next stop was a tiny remote island that would be incredibly difficult to find. On July 2, 1937, Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan took off from Lae, New Guinea. Their destination was Howland Island, a tiny speck of land in the middle of the vast Pacific Ocean. This was the most difficult leg of their entire journey. The flight would take about 18 hours and cover over 2,500 miles of open water. The United States Coast Guard cutter, the Itasca, was waiting near Howland Island. Its job was to help guide them in using radio signals. The success of the flight depended on perfect navigation and clear communication. As the flight wore on, radio communication became a problem. The Itasca could hear Amelia's voice, but she could not seem to hear their replies clearly. She reported that the weather was cloudy and overcast, making it hard to see the ocean surface to navigate by the sun. In her radio messages, she sounded calm, but also concerned. She repeatedly asked the Itasca to send signals so she could find her direction. The crew on the ship tried everything they could, sending out transmissions, but something was wrong. Her plane's radio equipment was not working as it should. In the early morning, as her fuel was running low, Amelia's voice came over the radio again. She said, "We must be on you but cannot see you." She also reported, "Gas is running low." The Itasca sent up thick black smoke from its smokestack, hoping she could see it, but the clouds were too thick. Her last known radio transmission was at 8:43 a.m. She said, "We are on the line 157337. We are running on line north and south." And then, there was only silence. The radio went quiet, and no one ever heard from Amelia Earhart again. The silence was terrifying. The crew of the Itasca waited, listening intently to their radios, but nothing came. Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan had vanished. The plane, with two of the world's most famous flyers, was lost somewhere in the immense Pacific Ocean. Immediately, the biggest search and rescue operation in naval history at the time was launched. The United States government spent millions of dollars searching for them. Ships and planes scoured over 250,000 square miles of ocean, but they found no wreckage, no oil slicks, and no sign of the Electra or its crew. The most widely accepted theory is the simplest one. It is called the crash and sink theory. According to this idea, Amelia and Fred simply ran out of fuel while searching for Howland Island. Unable to find the tiny island, their plane crashed into the deep ocean. The Lockheed Electra was a heavy aircraft, and it would have sunk quickly, perhaps within minutes. This would explain why no wreckage was ever found. The Pacific Ocean in that area is thousands of feet deep, making it nearly impossible to locate a sunken plane, especially with the technology available in the 1930s. Another popular theory suggests they did not crash in the open ocean. Instead, they may have found another island. This is known as the Gardner Island theory. Gardner Island, now called Nikumaroro, is an uninhabited atoll about 350 miles southeast of Howland Island. Proponents of this theory believe that Earhart, low on fuel, spotted the island and made a rough landing on its flat coral reef. They think she and Noonan might have survived for a short time as castaways. They might have sent distress calls from the plane's radio until the ocean tides washed the Electra away. A more dramatic and less supported theory claims that Amelia and Fred were captured. In this version of the story, they either accidentally flew into Japanese-held territory, or were on a secret mission to spy on Japanese military activity in the Pacific. The theory suggests they were captured by the Japanese, taken to an island like Saipan, and died in captivity. However, there is no official government documentation or credible evidence to support this spy mission story. It remains a fascinating idea for many, but most historians and researchers do not believe it is true. Over the years, many other ideas have emerged, some more believable than others. Some people have claimed to have found pieces of the plane or personal artifacts. For example, search groups on Nikumaroro have found items like a woman's shoe, a piece of plexiglass that could be from an Electra window, and even a skeleton. However, DNA testing on the bone fragments was inconclusive. Each new discovery brings a flurry of excitement. But so far, none have provided the definitive proof needed to solve the mystery once and for all. The mystery of Amelia Earhart continues to fascinate us today, nearly a century after she disappeared. She was not just a pilot, she was a hero who represented courage and the spirit of adventure. Her story is a real-life detective case that has no ending. People love a good mystery, and this is one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. Her disappearance left a huge question mark in history. We know the beginning and the middle of her story, but the final chapter was never written. This open-endedness is what keeps us coming back, hoping to find the answer. Modern technology has given new hope to the search. Today, explorers use deep-sea submersibles, advanced sonar imaging, and autonomous underwater vehicles to scan the ocean floor. Groups like the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, or TIGAR, have launched numerous expeditions to Nikumaroro. Other searchers like deep-sea explorer Robert Ballard, who found the Titanic, have also joined the hunt. These teams spend millions of dollars and countless hours, driven by the belief that technology can finally succeed where past efforts failed. Just this year, in early 2024, a team announced they captured a sonar image that looks like a plane, fueling new excitement. The story of Amelia Earhart is also a powerful human story. It's about ambition, risk, and the unknown. We can all relate to the idea of chasing a dream, even if it is dangerous. Her final, desperate radio calls are haunting. They make her very real to us. We can imagine her anxiety and her determination as she flew through the clouds, searching for a safe place to land. This personal connection makes her disappearance feel tragic and immediate, even after so many years. Her story reminds us that even our greatest heroes are human and vulnerable. Ultimately, the mystery of what happened to Amelia Earhart may never be solved. The ocean is vast, and the passage of time has hidden the clues well. But the search itself has become part of her legacy. It shows our deep desire to find answers and to honor those who dared to do great things. Amelia Earhart wanted to be remembered as a pilot who pushed the boundaries of flight. Instead, she is remembered for a flight she never finished. Her enduring mystery ensures that her name and her brave spirit will never be forgotten. She remains lost, but her story is found again and again by each new generation.